Omaha, Nebraska is the sixth largest city in America led by a Republican. And last night, in a stunning upset, Democrats flipped that seat from red to blue. I want to congratulate Mayor-elect John Ewing Jr., who's going to be the new mayor of Omaha, Nebraska. We also know that voters are very angry at Republicans who continue to enable Donald Trump's harmful policies. And the Republican mayor in this case aligned herself completely with Donald Trump, and the voters spoke out in Omaha, and now we have a Democratic mayor-elect. I also want to talk about now the Qatari luxury palace in the sky gift to Donald Trump. There is no such thing as a free palace in the sky. What do foreign countries want when they gift massive amounts of money and other gifts to the president? Donald Trump should reject this gift of the luxury palace in the sky, Boeing 747, completely and righteously. Because we are the United States of America. We don't need gifts from foreign countries. We can build our own very impressive Air Force One. We don't need to fly a Qatari plane around as our Air Force One. That's also un-American. I also want to note, new reporting came out showing that to retrofit this Qatari 747 would take perhaps up to $1 billion, because you can't just fly a palace in the sky from a foreign country. You have to actually make it safe and secure. You have to make this plane ready to launch nuclear weapons. You can't have people eavesdropping on it. And so it's going to cost way more money to do it this way. And again, people need to ask, why is a foreign country trying to give this massive gift to Donald Trump? And think of the precedent it would set. Would it be okay if Brunei gifted a luxury 757 to J.D. Vance for Air Force Two? Would it be okay if Germany gave a Porsche SUV to Senator Thune as his official car? Would it be okay if Italy gave a bunch of expensive Armani suits to Speaker Johnson for his official duties? No, it wouldn't be okay. Also, because the Constitution says you can't do this. It requires congressional approval for the president to accept a gift of this size. And we urge the Republicans in Congress to stand up, speak out, and call for a vote if Donald Trump were to accept this essential bribe from a foreign government. And then let me now conclude on Medicaid. We now know that the Republicans lied when they said that they weren't going to cut Medicaid. They're cutting Medicaid by a massive amount of money, one of the largest cuts in U.S. history. Over 13.7 million people will be kicked off Medicaid. I also note that two-thirds of nursing home patients rely on Medicaid. This is also going to close down rural hospitals. It's going to make it so that healthcare for all of us becomes more expensive, because if you don't have healthcare under Medicaid, you're still going to get treated. You just walk in the emergency room, and it costs even more money for all of us. So we urge the Republicans to reject this massive Medicaid cut. And I just want to say, we told you so. We told you that Republicans were going to cut Medicaid, and now we know that they are doing it. So they lied. We told the truth again. Donald Trump is not popular. In fact, he's the least popular president in over 80 years at the 100-day mark. His policies are not popular. Some of them are also lawless. And when Republicans align themselves completely with Donald Trump, then the voters get angry, and they're going to start taking them out in elections. And that's what happened. The Republican mayor was there, and she completely aligned herself with Donald Trump, and the voters removed her from office and installed a Democratic mayor who's going to work on issues such as what Chairman Aguilar said, fixing potholes and improving people's lives.
Artificial Intelligence Task Force last Congress and the interest that you have in this industry. What's your reaction to that particular provision? Do you think that it's helpful to prevent states and localities from regulating this industry? And what does it say that Congress hasn't really taken any meaningful steps to regulate artificial intelligence over these last few years?
So thank you for your question. First of all, this has nothing to do with the budget. So I don't see how this survives the Senate, where I think the parliamentarian will rule it out of order. Just on the policy itself, I don't mind if we have federal preemption. We do have federal preemption in a number of areas in the law, but we can't preempt with nothing, right? There's no federal law or idea that we're preempting the states on. And so it doesn't make much sense to me to basically preempt with nothing. I think if we're going to preempt, we should say we want to do X, Y, or Z, at the federal level, and that's why you states cannot regulate in this area. I also know that 10 years is an awfully long time. If what Congress wants to say is, look, give us a year to figure this out, that might make more sense. But there's no reason to have a 10-year preemption with nothing in its place.